Hi mga kawawmat! In this video, we will discuss the measures of length, weight, and capacity in the English system. So, dapat napanood muna natin yung introduction to measurement and yung measures of length, weight, and capacity ng metric system para mas madali para sa atin na maintindihan ang discussion ng video na ito. Okay? So, our objectives, we will convert measurements from one unit to another in the English system. So, after natin magbigay ng, after ko magbigay ng example ng conversion ng English to English, we will proceed to the conversion of English, from English system to the metric system and vice versa. Kaya nga po sabi ko, sana napanood muna natin yung metric system. Yun yung pangalawang video sa playlist natin. So, kung hindi nyo pa yun napapanood, panoorin muna natin yun bago tayo mag-proceed dito. Kasi meron tayo ritong conversion ng English to metric. So, kung wala tayong idea sa metric system, mahihirapan po tayo. Okay? So, let's proceed. So, the English system. So, it is based on the British Imperial System. So, dun tayo nakabase sa British Imperial System. Dun nakabase ang English system. Actually, meron tayong mga ginagamit na units sa English system. So, dito pumapasok yung its units evolved from non-standard units of measure in medieval times. So, kung napanood nyo po yung video tutorial natin dun sa Introduction to Measurement, doon diniscuss yung primitive papunta sa modern, yung ano na po, yung na-modernize na siya. So, dun sa introduction natin, na-discuss doon kung ano ang mga ginagamit noong unang panahon during the Babylonians and Egyptians. So, ang mga ginagamit nila noon ay non-standard units. Kaya dito pumasok yung foot, talampakan, yung pace, yung cubit, yung ano tawag nito, yung hand. So dun pumasok yung mga yon. So non-standard. They are using body parts. So the human body serves as their instrument o yung ginagamit nila para masukat ang mga bagay sa paligid nila during those times. Now, dun sa mga non-standard units of measures nung unang panahon, meron tayong na-adapt doon. Okay? Kaya nagagamit pa rin natin hanggang ngayon yung foot, yung inch, yung yard, na kung saan nakuha natin sa kanila. Okay? So, the English system also has no base unit and prefixes. Hindi siya kagaya ng metric system. Kung napanood nyo yung video tutorial natin about the metric system, there are base units for length, weight, and capacity, and also there are prefixes. Kaya mas madaling mag-convert ng metric system compared to English system. Because the English system is more on memorization. You have to memorize the table of values o yung equivalence rather ng mga conversion ng one unit to another para makapag-convert ka ng English to English. So, dapat memorize mo yung bawat value niya, yung equivalence. Hindi kagaya ng metric na hindi mo kailangan mag-memorize kasi based doon sa kanilang prefixes, mas madali mo siyang masusundan, mas madaling mag-convert. Okay? So, in the English system, of course, meron din siyang length, weight, and capacity. So, sa length, kapag English system, dito papasok yung inch. Okay? Nakikita natin yan sa ruler, sa meter stick, at sa tape measure, yung inch. Okay? And then, we also have the foot. So, makikita natin yan sa meter stick. Okay? Yung one ruler actually is equivalent to 1 foot. Yung one ruler is equivalent to 1 foot kasi that is equivalent to 12 inches. Okay? So, yung 12 inches, that is equivalent to 1 foot. So, ito yung mga unang panahon no, na na-adapt natin hanggang ngayon. Kaya, ginagamit natin siya. Naging ano na siya ngayon, naging standardized. So, naging fixed na yung value niya. Kaya, standard na siya na ginagamit natin lahat ngayon. Now, papasok rin dito yung miles. So, ito po. So, miles and yung yard. So, yard, ginagamit natin siya ngayon. Kapag, kung mapapansin nyo, if you're going to let's say Divisoria or yung bilihan ng mga fabrics, 'di ba? Yung mga cotton. Paano nila sinusukat yung haba ng tela na bibilhin mo, they are using yard. Okay? Kung if you have noticed, they are using meter stick. Okay? Pero yung ginagamit nilang sukatan is yard. Okay? Kaya kung papansinin nyo yung mga nagtitinda, yung mga vendor, hindi nila sinasakto yung pagsukat ng tela dun sa pinakadulo ng meter stick. Hindi sagad dun sa pinakadulo. Kasi, pag sinagad yun, that is 1 meter already. So, 1 yard lang po tayo. Kaya, noong unang panahon, ang sukatan nila is from nose to the, yung pinaka-tip ng middle finger. Pero ngayon, since meron na tayong instrument, we are using meter stick. Pero, hindi yun, hindi yun yung eksakto. Hindi nila sinasagad yung isang meter stick sa 1 yard. And then for weight, in the English system, dito papasok yung tons, ounce, and pounds. So, minsan, pag sa school, hinihingan tayo ng data ng ating weight, yung kilograms natin, yung bigat, yung weight natin can be converted into pounds. So, yun ang hindi natin minsan masagot. Halimbawa, ang tinatanong, how many pounds? Ilang pounds ka? Hindi mo masagot kasi mas madaling magbigay ng timbang na naka-kilograms, right? Kasi, why? Because we do not know the conversion. Okay? Hindi natin alam kung ilan ang equivalent ng pounds into kilogram. So, yun ang i-discuss natin ngayon. Okay? And then, yung ounce, ito yung ginagamit natin sa mga, diba, sa mga soft drinks. Bibili tayo, diba, minsan, 8 ounce, pabili po ng soft drinks, umiinom tayo ng soft drinks, 12 ounce, 'di ba? Okay, aside from liter. Okay? So, ito naman yung sa English system. And of course, yung tons, ito yung weight. Okay? And then for capacity, dito pumapasok yung quarts, tablespoon, ito yung kapag panukat ng mga meron tayong gagawin kapag baking or cup. Yan ang ginagamit natin. So, gaano karami yung amount. Okay? So, ito po yung ginagamit natin. Quarts, tablespoon, ito yung mga units. Cups, pint, and then gallon, and of course, yung fluid ounce. Okay. So, let's have first the conversion for length. So, dapat alam natin yung table of equivalents kapag length ang pinag-uusapan sa English system. So, dito papasok ang inch, foot, yard, and mile. So, dapat we also have to familiarize ourselves with the symbols. Kasi there are cases na pag nagbigay ng examples, only the symbol. So, for inches, we are using IN. For foot, we are using FT or feet. For yard, YD, and for mile, MI. Okay? And then, sometimes, for inches, we are using ito, yung parang, apostrophe. Okay? So, yan po yan yung apostrophe. Now, so, dapat familiar din po tayo sa mga symbols na ginagamit. Kasi, minsan, ito po ang given aside from this. Okay? And then, of course, you also have to know the equivalence. Now, for 1 inch, lahat po ito ay 1. Okay? For every 1 inch, that is equivalent to 1/12 feet. For every 1 foot, that is equivalent to 12 inches. For every 1 yard, that is equivalent to 3 feet. For every 1 mile, that is equivalent to 5,280 feet. Now, by the way, meron tayong tinatawag din na nautical mile. Iba po yun. Okay? So, iba po yung mile sa nautical mile. Iba po yung equivalent nun. Okay? Now, so again ito po ay 1. So, for every 1 inch, that is 1/12 feet. For every 1 foot, that is 12 inches, and so on. Now, if you will try to imagine, to visualize the length of these units, so actually, itong 1 inch, which is also 1/12 feet, this is actually, so this is just approximation this is actually near, malapit siya, yung sukat niya sa length of half of your thumb. So, tingnan mo yung thumb mo, yung gitna niya, yung guhit dyan, that is half of your thumb, that is actually 1 inch. That is an approximation. Okay? And then for 1 foot, that is equivalent to length of an adult foot. Okay? So, yung paa ng isang adult, yun po ang approximation ng isang 1 foot. Okay, again ha, this is just approximation. And then, para ma-visualize lang natin gaano siya kahaba. Okay? And then, for 1 yard, so kagaya na pinakita ko kanina, that is actually from your nose out to outstretch. Okay? From your nose to outstretch fingertips. So, kailangan naka-extend yung arm mo. So, simula sa nose mo hanggang dun sa middle finger. Okay? Yung tip ng middle finger, that is 1 yard. Okay. So, let us try to convert measures of length in the English system. Okay. Now, remember, if you are converting, let's say for example, yard to feet, okay? Yard to feet, pagpakanan tayo, if you are from left to right, multiply. If you are from right to left, divide. Okay? So, yun lang yung tip na maibibigay ko. Okay. So, you're asked to convert 1 yard is how many inches? Okay, so 1 yard is how many inches? Paano natin siya gagawin? Okay, tingnan mabuti. Tatandaan na kapag nagko-convert tayo, kung ano yung given mo, so since your given is 1 yard, dapat yun yung nasa denominator. Okay, bakit? For us to cancel. Kasi hindi mo siya makakancel, we need to cancel this eh. So, hindi mo siya makakancel kung hindi pareho ng units yan. So, ang goal mo palagi, dapat kung ano yung nandito, dapat yung denominator mo kapareho nun ng unit. Okay? Now, for every 1 yard, so hanap tayo dito ng equivalence ng a yard to feet. Okay? Ma'am, bakit hindi yard to inches? Okay, wala tayong yard to inches dito. Yard to feet muna. Tapos, pag gawa mo na siyang feet, saka mo siya magagawang inches. Okay, ulitin ko. So, yard muna, for every 1 yard, diba sabi ko kanina, this is 1. For every 1 yard, that is equivalent to 3 feet. Okay, yun muna ang gagawin natin. 3 feet muna, hindi tayo mag-i-inches. Kasi, yard to feet yung nandito natin. So, para magawa mo siyang inches, kailangan mag-feet muna para feet to inches. Now, so 1 yard, that is equivalent to 3 feet. Etong feet mo, so dapat ipapareho mo siya doon para makancel natin to. So, for every 1 foot, eto sabi ko kanina, for every 1 foot, that is equivalent to 12 inches. So, yan ang ilalagay mo ngayon sa taas. Etong numerator and denominator mo, this is the ratio. Ito yung equivalence niya. Okay? So, for every 1 yard, that is equivalent to 3 feet. For every 1 foot, that is equivalent to 12 inches. So, dito tayo tumitingin sa table. For every 1 foot, that is equivalent to 12 inches. Okay, now, kung mapapansin nyo, from left to right tayo and then left to right ulit. Anong sabi ko kanina pag left to right? Multiply. Okay, so but before that, let us cancel first the units. So makakancel natin to, tatandaan. Kung ano yung unit mo dito, dapat yun yung nasa denominator para makancel mo sila. Okay, so we now have 1 times 3, lahat ng naiwan, 1 times 3 times 12. So ito po siya, 1 times 3 times 12 over 1. 1 times 1, that is 1 pa rin naman. So hindi na natin ilalagay. So, 1 times 3, that is 3, times 12, that is 36. Ano yung naiwan na unit? Inches. Okay? So, kung mapapansin nyo, puro symbol lang po ang ginamit ko dito. So, ito po ang way ng pag-convert ng English to English units. Okay? So, therefore, 1 yard is equivalent to 36 inches. Okay? Kung ano po yung naiwan na unit. Next, let's have another. So, I have here 15,840 feet. Okay? How many miles do we have in 15,840 feet? Okay, so ang conversion natin this time is feet to miles. So, from right to left. So, dun agad makikita nyo, division ito. Kasi kanina, yard to feet, feet to inches, nag-multiply tayo. Now, this time, since feet to miles siya, right to left, division ito. Okay, minsan yun ang mga tandaan natin para hindi tayo malito mag-convert. Okay? Now, so, dapat kabisado ninyo itong equivalence. Okay? Kasi ang English system, it's more on memorization. Dapat memorize nyo yung equivalence niya. Unlike the metric. Okay. So, lagay natin. So, right here given 15,840 feet. Now, since feet ito, dapat pareho siya doon sa denominator ng unit. Okay? Then, i-convert natin siya sa mile. So, therefore, ito ang gagawin nating 1 mile. Now, 1 mile is equivalent to, ano nga ulit yung kanina? 1 mile is equivalent to 5,280 feet. Okay, laging ganon. Kung ano yung unit mo dito, ilagay mo kagad feet, tapos mile sa taas. And then, yung dalawa na yon, feet and mile, tingin ka sa table, feet and mile, ibig sabihin, sa mile, ilalagay mo 1. Sa feet, ilalagay mo 5,280. Tingin ka dun sa table of values mo. Now, so we can now cancel the feet. Okay? So, therefore, we will have 15,840 times 1, that is still 15,840. Divided by 5,280, so that is equivalent to 3 miles. So, kung ano yung naiwan na unit, ayun po siya. So, therefore, 15,840 feet is equivalent to 3 miles. Next, let's proceed to the weight, the measures of weight in the English system. So, this is the table of equivalence in the English system for weight. So, ito po yung mga ginagamit natin. We have the ounce, pounds, and ton. Okay? So, ito po ang mga symbols na ginagamit natin. For ounce, it is OZ. And then for pounds, it's LB. And then for ton, it's T. Okay? For the equivalence, 1. So, lahat to 1 ha. For every 1 ounce, that is 1 over 16 pounds. For every 1 pound, that is equivalent to 16 ounce. And then for every 1 ton, that is equivalent to 2,000 pounds. Okay? So, approximation, gano'n nga ba kabigat itong 1 ounce? That is just the weight of the pen. So, pag meron kang hawak na ballpen, that is 1 ounce. Okay? So, this is just approximation na para lang ma-visualize natin gaano kabigat itong mga to. And then for 1 pound, that is actually approximate of 3 oranges. So, pag may hawak kang 3 orange, yun po ang 1 pound approximation. And then for 1 ton, that is the weight of a container van. Ayan. Pag may mga nakikita tayo ng container van, that is 1 ton. Ganun siya kabigat. Okay? So, let's try to convert the measures of weight in the English system. So, I have here 16 ounce. We have to convert this into pounds. So, paano natin siya gagawin? So, ounce to pounds. So, left to right. So, anong gagawin natin? Una muna, copy your given. Okay? Copy your given we have. Okay, so we have 112 ounce. So, ito po siya. Medyo may typo tayo kanina. So, 112 ounce converted to pounds. So, paano natin siya gagawin? Copy your given. Since this is, your unit here is ounce. So, anong gagawin natin? Dapat kapareho siya nun. Laging ganon. Okay. Now, balikan nyo yung table. Ounce and pounds ang pair natin. So, ounce and pounds. So, ibig sabihin dito ka. So, ounce and pounds. So, ibig sabihin, yung pounds mo ang 1, yung ounce mo ang 16. So, laging ganon. Tingin sa table. So, ounce. So, matik yan na dapat yung ounce mo ang nasa denominator. And then since ang pair natin ay ounce and pounds, titingin sa table. So therefore this is 1, yung pounds mo ang 1, yung ounce mo ang 16. Okay. So we now have, makakancel natin yung ounce. And then we will have 112 because 112 times 1, that is 112. And then over 16. So 112 divided by 16, that is equivalent to 7 pounds. So therefore, 112 ounce is equivalent to 7 pounds. Let's have another. So I have 24 tons. Okay, so how many pounds then ang hinahanap natin? Okay, so tons and pounds. So ito siya. Ito yung pair natin dyan. Okay, so copy your given, 24 ton. And then, so since ton ito, dapat tons din yung nasa baba. Okay, so ang pairing natin is tons and pounds. So tingin ka sa table, tons and pounds. Ibig sabihin, dun sa tons, ang ilalagay mo ay 1. Sa pounds, ang ilalagay mo ay 2,000. So lagi kang tingin sa table of equivalence mo. So yung tons mo ay 1, yung pounds mo ay 2,000. Okay? So we can now cancel the unit, yung same unit natin. So we now have 24 times 2,000 divided by 1, that is still 24 times 2,000. So that is 48,000. So 24 times 2, that is 48,000 pounds. Okay, so therefore 24 tons is equivalent to 48,000 pounds. So ganun lang po lagi ang gagawin. Next, let's proceed to the weight measures of capacity in the English system. So ito naman po ang kanyang table of equivalence. We have the units pint, quart, gallon. So this is read as pint, okay? Where the symbols are PT, QT, and gal. Okay. So pint is equivalent to 2 cups and quarts is equivalent to 2 pints. So kung meron kang 2 pints, ibig sabihin kung ang 1 pint ay 2 cups, therefore ang 2 pints ay 4 cups. Kaya this is also equivalent to 4 cups. Okay? And then 1 gallon is equivalent to 4 quarts. Okay? So kung yung isang quart ay 2 pints, therefore kung 4 quarts, 4 times 2, that is also equivalent to 8 pints. And then, kung meron kang 8 pints naman, 8 times 2, that is equivalent to 16 cups. Okay, so I hope naiintindihan. So actually kasi pag kabisado mo ito, madali na eh. Okay, kahit hindi ka na gumamit ng mga cancellation na pinakita ko kanina ng mga examples, pag meron kang 10 cups, ilang pints yun? E di 10 divide 2, that is 5 pints. Pag meron kang 12 cups, ilang quarts yun? So 12 divide 4, that is 3 quarts. Pag meron kang 3 gallons, so ilang quarts yun? So 3 times 4 lang. That is 12 quarts. Okay, ganun lang siya kadali. So, pag meron kang 3 quarts, ilang pints? So, 3 times 2, that is 6 pints. Okay? So, dapat memorize natin to. Okay? Now, gaano nga ba karami ang isang pint? Okay? Ang isang pint is approximation, kung gaano karami yung mailalagay mo sa isang malaking baso. Okay? That is 1 pint. And then for gallon, that is yung amount ng mailalagay mo sa isang balde. Okay? So let's have an example. So I have here 5 pints. So again lagi tayong 1 dito. For every 1 pint, 2 cups. For every 1 quart, 2 pints yon, which is also equivalent to 4 cups. For every 1 gallon, that is 4 quarts, which is also equivalent to 8 pints or 16 cups. Okay? So, I have here 5 pints. So, dito tayo. So, 5 pints. So, since pint ito, pint dapat ang nandito. Okay? So, hanapin mo yung table of equivalent ng pint and cup. So, ito siya. Pint and cup. Okay? So, 1 yung pint. Ang ilalagay mo sa pint ay 1 kasi sabi ko laging 1 yan. Ang pint mo ay 1, ang cup mo ay 2. Yun ang ilalagay mo. Now, so makakancel natin ito. We now have 5 times 2, that is 10 cups. So, 5 pints is equivalent to 10 cups. Next, I have 10 gallons. Okay, so how many cups? So, gallon and cups naman. Okay, so meron tayo ditong cups. So, ibig sabihin, itong gallon mo, kailangan pareho siya doon. Now, for 1 gallon, that is equivalent to 4 quarts. Okay? So, for 1 gallon, that is equivalent to 4 quarts. So, yun ang ilalagay mo sa taas. Now, quarts ito, so dapat quarts yon. So, quarts and pints naman. So, quarts and pints, yung quarts mo ay 1, yung pints mo ay 2. And then, since pints ito, so this is also pint. So, pint, for every 1 pint, that is 2 cups. Okay? So, ito yung mahaba. Okay? So, mamaya ituturo ko yung shortcut since meron na tayo ditong equivalent ng 16 cups. So, makakancel na natin ito. Ito. Ayun. Okay. Since wala tayong diretsong conversion dito sa table na gallon to cups agad, so kaya meron tayong ganitong long method pa. Okay? Pero later, explain ko kung paano, kaya dapat kabisado nyo ito. Okay? So, going back. So, we now have 10 times 4 times 2 times 2. So, 10 times 4 times 2 times 2. So, 10 times 4, that is 40, times 2, 80, times 2, 160 cups, kung ano yung naiwan na unit. So, therefore, 10 gallons is equivalent to 160 cups. Okay, or simply, ganito po. Since meron na tayo dito na 16 cups, so 10 gallons, 'di ba? Gallon to cups. Anong sabi ko? From left to right, magmumultiply ka. Pag right to left, divide. So, gallon to cups. So, gallon to cups. So, left to right yan. So, multiply. So, 10 times 16, that is 160. Okay? Kaya nga, mas madali kung kabisado natin ito. Hindi mo na to gagawin. Mas madali siya. Okay. So, let's have now the English to metric system and vice versa. So, ito naman, papasok na po dito yung metric system. Okay. So, paano natin siya gagawin? So, dapat kabisado natin yung conversion ng English to metric. So, yung 1 inch, so lahat ito 1. Lagi pong ganon, lahat ito ay 1. For every 1 inch, that is equivalent to 2.54 centimeters. Okay? For every 1 yard, sa English, that is equivalent to 0.9144 meters. For every 1 mile, that is equivalent to 1.609 kilometers. For every 1 pound, that is equivalent to 0.4536 kilograms. For every 1 gallon, that is equivalent to 4.546 liters. And for 1 Fahrenheit, that is equivalent to, we're going to use this formula, pero ito ay separate ang discussion natin dito. So, yung susunod nating video tutorial, magpo-focus lang po tayo dito. So, skip natin to. Okay? So, focus tayo dito sa 5. Okay. Again, ito po ay 1. So, 1 inch, 1 yard, 1 mile, 1 pound, 1 gallon are all equivalent to these values into metric system. Okay, so dapat memorize natin ito. Okay, let's have example. So, I have here 9 miles to kilometer. Okay? So, balikan natin yung table. So, yung miles, i-convert mo sa kilometer. So, kung meron kang 1 mile, that is 1.609 kilometer. Now, since mile to kilometer tayo, left to right, ibig sabihin multiply. Kung ito ay kilometer to mile, pabaliktad, magdi-divide ka. Kapag mile to kilometer, ita-times mo siya sa 1.609. Pag kilometer to miles, i-divide mo siya sa 1.609. So, baliktad lang po, vice versa. Mile to kilometer, ita-times mo siya dito. Kilometer to miles, i-divide mo siya dito. Okay. So, since we have miles to kilometers, so we're going to multiply. So, ito ang pinapakita ko sa inyo para ma-practice kayo na mag-convert ng ganito. Okay? Pero kung alam ko mas mabilis na titingin na lang kayo sa table and then i-multiply nyo na lang or i-divide, okay din yon. Kaya lang mas okay kung ma-practice din kayo on how to convert using this method. Okay? So, lagi nga tatandaan na kung ano yung unit mo dito, yun din po ang denominator. Okay? Now, since mile and kilometer tayo, mile, kilometer, so for every 1 mile, so ang 1 ilalagay mo dito, that is equivalent to 1.609 kilometer. So, yun ang ilalagay mo sa taas. Makakancel natin siya ngayon. So, therefore, we will have 9 times 1.609, that is equivalent to 14.481 kilometers. Okay, next. I have 24 liters to gallon. So, ito naman tayo. 24 liters to gallon. So, ito naman, from right to left. Magko-convert tayo to liters, from liters to gallon. So, ibig sabihin, we're going to divide. Okay? So, since from right to left tayo, again, copy your given first. So, 24 liters. So, since liters ito, yun din po dapat ang unit mo sa denominator. Now, yung liters at gallon mo, ito, 1 gallon is equivalent to 4.546 liters. Kaya dapat memorize po ito. So, we can now cancel liters. So, we now have 24 times 1, that is 24, over 4.546. So, magdi-divide tayo ngayon. Kagaya nga ng sinabi ko, pag right to left, divide. Okay, so 24 divided by 4.546, that is equivalent to 5.28 gallons. Okay, next. So, I have here 184 inches to centimeters. So, inches to centimeters. So, left to right. So, therefore, we're going to multiply. So, again, copy your given, and then kung ano yung unit mo dito, ganun din po sa denominator. So, we can cancel. And then, for every 1 inch, that is 2.54 centimeters. Nagbe-base po tayo sa table. Now, so, we can now cancel. So, 184 times 2.54, that is equivalent to 467.36 centimeters. Next. So, I have 90 pounds to kilogram. So, ito ang pounds to kilogram. So, left to right ulit tayo. So, multiply. So, we will have, copy your given. So, copy natin yung unit. So, since pounds ito, pounds dapat ito. Now, for every 1 pound, that is equivalent to 0.4536 kilogram. Okay, so we can now cancel pounds. So, magmumultiply tayo since from left to right siya. So, 90 times 0.4536 is equivalent to 40.824 thousands kilograms. So, 40.824 kilograms. Okay. Okay, test yourself. So, convert the following English units. And convert the following from English to metric units. Okay, you may pause the video kung kulang po ang time para hindi kaagad makita ang sagot. Okay, you may check your own work. So, here's the answer. If you got 5, you may share your scores sa ating comment section. And congratulations! Thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned something. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell para updated kayo for more video tutorials. This is your guide in learning your math lessons, your Wow Math channel.